Patrick, I know that first inning went by pretty quick with the 7 pitches. I guess the big question is, I guess, what changed and what weren't you able to maybe make adjustments to that allowed Baylor to really kind of have that big inning?
Yeah, I'd say when I'm pitching well and when I have success, I establish my fastball inside the hitters. And if you look at just the video from today's game, I threw inside the lefties and they didn't really hurt me too much. The righties hurt me today. And I kind of just stayed away from them. Didn't really execute my game plan as well as I wanted to. And that was the difference in the game.
Okay, we'll go to Eric.
Patrick, obviously you had that rough second inning, but you end up going 4, so you pitch a couple innings after getting out of that one. What do you learn from, I guess, pitching through those difficult innings?
It's pretty much the same thing as Kansas State, and that's why it's, frustrating for me. If they beat me when I was at my best stuff and executed my game plan, I tip their hat, but I don't want to say I abandoned my game plan, but I just didn't pitch to my strengths. And after that second inning, I kind of realized I got away from it. And the third and fourth inning, I went in and talked to Gardner, talked to Braxton. I said, hey, let's get their feet moving a little bit, make them uncomfortable in the box. It kind of looks like they're way too comfortable and just sitting back on my off speed and fastball away. And then the third inning, I threw an inside fastball to that righty, just left it a little bit elevated, and he, back spun it, the wind took it out. That was a good piece of hitting. In the fourth inning, I kind of got my confidence back and started throwing inside and just keeping them off balance. Unfortunately, I couldn't go farther in the game, but yeah.
Eric, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I was just wondering, you talked about, kind of reassessing your game plan. How big is it just to get at least a little bit of positive momentum moving forward, just to kind of see that, hey, when I stick to it in those couple innings, like it does work, and even in those tough games, it does.
I mean, that's everything, but confidence really shouldn't be wavered. I've said it before on here. I usually say my confidence is unwavered, and still is. I'm fully confident I'm going to go out next week against Texas and, shove. I'm going to do my game plan. I'm going to do what I can do to help our team win. But when I kind of abandon my game plan, this happens, and this is the second time I've made the same mistake, and I can promise you it won't happen again.
Okay, we'll go to Phil.
Patrick, when you have one of those tough innings like the second where it sort of just seems like base runner after base runner, how hard is it to stay focused, and what can you sort of do mentally to keep yourself locked in?
I kind of have my own mental cues. That's part of the game, though. I've had base runners before and 5 hits in a row before, in my life. 23 years old, it happens to the best of us. So I just kind of go through my own mental preparation. Staying in the green is what I like to call it. And luckily, it worked.
Coach, obviously, Patrick started pretty well in that first. Did you kind of feel like maybe he was missing something in that second inning, and what was it that you maybe tried to help him with Coach Gardner going out there to the mound to maybe readjust him a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know what Matt and Patrick's conversation was. And was that in the second? Is that what you're mentioning? He just didn't have his best stuff tonight. Really didn't locate anything, really didn't have his best stuff. But more importantly, the story is Baylor's lineup and Tyler Thomas. Those guys are to be commended for the way they showed up and swung the bat. And, the similar stuff out of both guys. Thomas just outpitched our guy.
Okay.
And so you can say their lineup outplayed our lineup too, for that matter.
Okay, we'll go to Eric.
In terms of Patrick, obviously he struggled, but he was able to get through a couple innings after that, kind of readjusted. what do you like out of a guy who obviously he has the bad inning, but then he comes out and kind of, finishes strong as strong as he can in that situation?
Yeah, I thought he did get in a little bit more of an attack mode with the fastball after that, and did, maybe tempo was maybe a little better after that. What you like to see is, what you don't want to see is, guy have to give up some runs to get in that, mindset of, hey, I'm gonna go get these guys and I'm gonna attack them, whatever that mindset is. And so, but we needed to get 4 out of him. It's not going to hurt anything for sure. We could have gone the bullpen earlier if we really wanted to, and just didn't want to today.
Okay, we'll go to Phil.
You mentioned Baylor's starter Thomas. What did he do well to sort of throw you guys off today?
Yeah, he located his fastball, threw some change-ups early, kind of kept some guys off balance. Didn't just lay the heater in there in fastball counts. And then he finished some guys with some good breaking balls. He really showed a really nice curveball, kind of old school curveball.
And then I wanted to ask about Easton. He seemed a couple more extra base hits today. He seemed to be swinging it a lot better since you moved him to leadoff. Do you think a move in the lineup can kind of get a guy going like that, or is it just he happened to start hitting when you did move him?
No, I think absolutely. I think sometimes it's just simplicity of playing baseball and playing the game the right way. Sometimes you put guys that have been top of the order type guys and on base guys, maybe they try to do too much. And I think that's probably the case with Easton, even though I don't want to claim after we get beat, whatever the score was, 12-4, we got anything figured out. You got to show up and play good baseball each day. And I mean, he put together 2 good at bats at least. I know. I mean, I'm looking down, I see 2 hits. But what you want to do is put 4 or 5 good ones together per guy.